what's been on my mind. Sick and tired of the 9 to 5 in the city life. Hey darling, we could get out of town, see the beautiful world around, wanna see it now. Pack our bags and get in that car, leave a little note and we'll drive real far. Let's get out, we can leave this city. Let's drive to the open air. Yeah, the countryside is...
Hey everyone, welcome to the Farm and Pastor's Wife. I'm so glad you're here. I am Leslie. You are in my kitchen down on the farm, and I am thrilled to have you here. Listen, if you're unfamiliar with our channel, I do a lot of cooking videos, but I also do farming videos, day in the life of, grocery hauls, just vlog style sort of. So you'll get a little bit of everything here, but a lot of times it's cooking, which is what we're doing today. So I first just want to say welcome. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. Leave me a comment, a thumbs up. Let me know where you're, interact with me in some way, shape, or form. So, all right, let me grab everything we need and I'll come back and talk to you and tell you what we're doing today. So do you want to make a cake? I do. And I want to make a spring or summer type cake. And so let's get started. The first thing I'm going to need to do is to zest some lemon. Hey, it's a beautiful day. I'm just about ready to open my windows. I am actually filming this the same day as I did yesterday's video. I just changed tops so I could know how to edit the videos. But I know that it's probably a blonde thing, but you know. I'm going to get my zester out and zest these lemons. I've got 3 altogether, and I need 2 tablespoons of zest. I don't think I'll have to zest all 3, but I'll probably have to juice all 3 because it does call for lemon juice. What we're making is a blueberry lemon cake with cream cheese icing. It's going to be so good. All right, I'm going to get the oven preheated. I'm going to get my zester out and get to zesting. When you're zesting a lemon, you only want to do it just a little bit in one area because you definitely don't want to get that white pith area. That's where the bitterness is. Isn't God so good? Can't you just go outside? I don't know. No matter what the weather's like where you're at, if it's cold and rainy or if it's sun shining and beautiful, it's just go outside and just see God's handiwork everywhere. All right. You want to wash your lemons really good when you bring them home, because don't know who's touched them. All right, I need a 1/2 cup of lemon juice. And let's see, I'm gonna have to put it in something bigger. I'll tell you what, not that. I'm indecisive today. These big oranges barely fit in my juicer. I mean, lemons. These big lemons barely fit. I'm going to, I must have a cut on that finger. That hurt. All right. I'm going to juice them all and then we'll measure out what I need. All right, that's the last one. I got a couple of seeds in there I need to fish out. All right, so let's get started on this cake. I've got the lemons juiced, the lemons zested, my cake pans are out, the oven is preheated, so I want to get started. But first, let me tell you, this is not my recipe, and I found it somewhere, and I will leave the link down in the description. I'm not going to put the recipe in there because I want you to go to their website and get it straight from them. So I'll be leaving a link where you can get the recipe. But I'm going to use my hand mixer today just because I don't feel like getting out the stand mixer. And so I'm going to be using my hand mixer, and I will go over the ingredients real quick in case you want to write down the things you'll need. If you do, how about going and grabbing a piece of paper real quick, and I will give you the amounts and ingredients and you can just jot it down. Otherwise, you can visit the link down in the description. Okay, so you're going to need, for the cake, this is just for the cake, a cup of butter. So I've got 2 sticks of softened room temperature butter, and so a cup of, it calls for unsalted. I use salted, and then I just don't add any extra salt into the cake. 1 1/4 cup of sugar, a 1/2 cup of brown sugar, 4 eggs, a tablespoon of vanilla. You're going to need 3 cups of all-purpose flour, a tablespoon of baking powder, a cup of buttermilk, 2 tablespoons of lemon zest, a 1/2 cup of lemon juice, 1 1/2 cups of blueberries, and an extra tablespoon of flour that we were going to toss the blueberries in. So that is the cake portion. When we get to the icing, I'll give you the ingredients for that too. So first thing I'm going to do is get you guys turned down. I found a cake that calls for lavender. I think it's lemon and lavender. I have got to order me some food grade lavender. I don't think that's something you can find in just any old grocery store. So I'm going to look for that maybe online or go to a specialty grocery store in Greensboro or something. But that's something I have never cooked with, is lavender, and I'm kind of anxious to try it. But this cake is going to be just a lemon blueberry with cream cheese icing. So the first thing I'm going to do is cream this butter and get it nice and fluffy. All right, I have my butter all nice and beaten until fluffy, and I'm going to go ahead and add in our sugars. There is a cup and 1/4 of white granulated sugar, and then we're going to put that aside and get out the brown sugar, and we're going to need a 1/2 cup of brown sugar, and I always pack my brown sugar. And I do that just by pushing it on the side of the container. All right, we'll set that aside as well. And we're going to continue to beat that up and mix that together well. So here's a little something different in this recipe that I'm not used to. Usually it says to add eggs one at a time, beating in between. But this time it does not say that. So it says to add all the eggs and then beat until incorporated. So that's what we're going to do. And I'll just use my brown sugar container here. I'm doing it in a separate container just so we don't get any shells in the butter. Hang on. That shell went in before I poured the egg in, so that was a good catch. And exactly the reason why we put it in a container first. Perfect example. All right. Side aside, this and that. And we're going to just beat this until it's all incorporated. All right, it says to add in the vanilla and mix that well at this point. A lot of things are not in the order I normally do things. So I'm going to kind of set that aside briefly, carefully. All right, here's my 3 cups of flour, and to that I want to double check because this was a lot of baking powder. It says a tablespoon of baking powder. All right, we're just going to kind of take a whisk and whisk that in really well. Okay, now let's bring back our batter and let's get our buttermilk. Did I mention buttermilk earlier? It calls for a cup of buttermilk. Okay, I was reading the recipe. I wanted to be sure I was reading it right. It said to add in the dry ingredients all at once. You know, normally on a cake recipe, it'll say alternate with the, so it says to add it all in. So we're going in. Alright, it said to only beat it for about 5 seconds or so. So I don't want to overbeat it. So I'm going to go ahead now and add in the milk, the buttermilk. The lemon juice. And 2 tablespoons of our lemon zest here. I'm actually just going to add everything. I'm going to add it all. All right. So let's mix away. So our batter is almost ready, but we got to add our blueberries in. So I have washed these blueberries, made sure all the stems were removed. I'm just going to put them in our flour container. Remember, that was 1.5 cups. And I'm going to add a tablespoon of flour to them. And I'm just going to take my hand and kind of toss it This is going to hopefully keep them from sinking to the bottom. Does this always work? Absolutely not. Does it sometimes work? Yes, it absolutely does. All right, so let me get my beaters out of here. I just like to slowly lift up, and then right when I get to the top, I cut it off. Yes, I should have licked those, I know. So what we're gonna do now is we're just gonna take this blueberry flour mixture, pour it in. I'm not gonna dump in all that extra flour. And I'm just gonna take this utensil and fold it in. These were really big blueberries, so it didn't take many to make a cup and a half. So I'm like wondering, should I have gotten smaller blueberries? All right, so our cake pans have been sprayed. And when I'm doing a layer cake, I do like to take, you know, something that I can kind of measure with to keep them halfway even. Doesn't mean they will be totally even, but maybe it'll be halfway even. Oh, I see these bits of lemon zest. Looks so good. All right, and then when I get kind of close to the end, I just eyeball it from there. That way we keep our layers fairly even. They may not be completely even, but that's okay. Ah! I just dropped it on the floor. All right, now I like to give my cakes a little bang just to get out any maybe air bubbles that are in here. I think this one's lacking some, so let's go here with the excess. Maybe that one too. Not sure. Anyway, it'll be close enough. It's all going in the same place, right? All right. Try not to step in what I dropped. Okay, these are going in a 350-degree oven. I'm not sure for how long, but I'll tell you when I come back. Okay, the cakes are out of the oven. I've put them out of the pan, but I want you just to see how soft they are. Oh my goodness, they look delicious. So now we got to make some icing. All right, so let's make some icing. I need to get everything I need over here, but while we're doing that, let me tell you exactly what you're gonna need and then I'll go get it. I don't have it out yet. You're gonna need some cream cheese. I do have that out and softened at room temperature. A stick of butter, which is a ½ cup, softened at room temperature. Some vanilla, some powdered sugar, and some heavy cream. Now listen, guys. If you don't have heavy cream, do not go out and buy it just for this recipe. You can use evaporated milk or you can just use regular old milk. And if you don't even have regular milk, you can use a little bit of water. Don't fret about the heavy cream. So I happen to have heavy cream. At least I think I do. I haven't even looked. I usually have heavy cream. But if I didn't have it, I sure wouldn't go buy it just for this one recipe. So, all right, let me grab everything. I'll meet you back right here. All right, let's get you turned down where you can see. Here we go. All right, so ½ cup of butter, 1 stick. There was a little bit of water in there from where I washed the bowl. We're gonna get some cream cheese. And I'm actually gonna give that a blend to begin with, just to get it mixed up well and incorporated well. So let's give that a whip. If you have them nicely softened and room temperature, that's all it takes. So now let's go in with 3.5 cups of confectioner's sugar. That's a half. 1, half, 2, half, 3, and a half. And you don't have to be exceptionally accurate with the confectioner's sugar in this icing. Now turn it on slow or it's going to go poof. Okay, just to give a little help, I'm going to add the vanilla. And we are going to need a little bit of heavy cream. I'm going to start with 1 tablespoon. Now I'm just going to beat it till it's nice and fluffy. All right. Oh my, so good. All right, now let me tell you what I'm thinking about doing. Have you seen those cakes where they ice the center and they ice the top, but they don't really ice around the sides? So I'm thinking about doing that, because this is not a whole lot of icing. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I've never done a cake like that before. We'll see. We'll see once we get to going. Let me go get my cake plate. I'll meet you back right here. All right, so y'all know if you followed me for any length of time, my cake decorating skills are not the best. So maybe that's why I want to take the easy route, right? Okay, I always do this. I don't even know why. I know why I do it, but I'm not sure this cake needs it on this cake dish. But I always put a little bit down on the bottom to serve as like a glue to keep the cakes from moving around a lot. Now these are so super soft. Oh. Stuck to my hands. Ah. All right. So let's get a good dollop. All right. I've always wanted to try one of those cakes where it's not completely iced and decorated. I think that's the part of me that's like, you're not very good at cake decorating. Make it look rustic. All right. There was layer number 1. Let's grab layer number 2. All right, everyone. I did what I had talked about doing. And I would say if you wanted to ice this whole cake, that I would double the amount of icing. I will let it kind of drip down from the top, but if it wants to. Doesn't look like it really wants to. But I think this is actually very beautiful. So yeah, I'm actually pleased. Give it just a little push that direction. All right, let's get some blueberries and decorate the top. Kind of give you the full effect. Not bad. It's not beautiful, but hey, it's okay. If my cakes were even and beautiful, it would be gorgeous. Let me get the blueberries. I'll be right back. All right. So this is just, you know, I don't make a pretty cake. I make a good cake, but I don't make a pretty cake. So we are going to taste this in just a little while when Bryant comes in. So, yeah, I'm going to sit down, I'm going to get the dishes started, then I'm going to sit down. And I had planned on having Spam biscuits tonight, but I've changed my mind. I think I want a sausage casserole. So, all right, I'm gonna set this aside, clean up. I'll see you back for the taste test. All right, it's time to taste test this cake, and I have a surprise taste tester for you today. So let me just show you one more time how absolutely beautiful it looks. And look who my taste tester is. Caroline. It looks so good. It does look so pretty. I'm so proud of it. Well, you can take what you don't eat home to Jamie.
I didn't say I wasn't going to eat it. I just said it was a big piece.
All right, everybody. There it is.
Oh, it looks yummy.
All right, get you a fork.
You showed me cake?
Yeah, I did. It's so pretty. I'm so glad I decorated it the way I did, like not putting it on the side, the icing on the side. I haven't tasted it, so you'll have to tell me.
That's good.
Is that
I love
good?
the lemon.
Is that good?
Mm-hmm. It's really good.
It's really good. All right, now don't go anywhere. So, oh, Daddy's coming.
It's like, I hate this word, but it's like moist.
It is very moist.
It's good.
All right, let me give it a whirl. Here we go.
Hang on. I'm gonna double.
She wants the icing.
The icing good?
I love all things lemon, so.
Oh,
That's
that's
really good.
Just needs a cup of coffee. The cake is delicious.
Mm-hmm.
Good morning.
All right.
That's probably like my
The
favorite.
cake is really good.
All right, there you have it. 2 people giving it thumbs up. So listen, do you have something you'd like to tell our viewers?
I'm sure you do.
Those of you may remember back at the first of the year, Caroline and Jamie experienced and walked through a miscarriage. And just recently, she did find out she is expecting again. And she went ahead, because if you remember, it was very important for her to find out what, she didn't know what the gender was of the one she lost. And she says if she walks through that again, it was really important for her to know what the gender was. So she did the early blood test, and
Tell them what I'm doing.
Brian's getting ice out of the freezer. She did the early blood test and found out that we're going to have another blonde-headed, blue-eyed, or so we think, little boy.
Yep.
So the due date is Thanksgiving Day.
Isn't that ironic?
How ironic. So y'all keep her in your prayers as she walks through this journey, because once you've experienced that, I understand that your nerves are on high alert and you're exceptionally sensitive to anything that goes on through the pregnancy because you're fearful of it happening again. So
Never been so grateful for morning sickness before.
So, all right, guys, thank you. Y'all got to try this cake. I haven't tried it yet, so and I'm getting good reports from these two. So be sure to give this one a whirl. I will share the link where it came from down in the description below. So thank you guys for joining us, and we'll see you next time on the Farm and Pastor's Wife. Remember, if the grease is hot enough, you can fry anything. Bye, y'all.